Now, the Victorian North Richmond safe injecting room is set to be permanent, with legislation to be introduced today. A report made 10 recommendations and the trial found it saved 63 lives and managed 6,000 overdoses. Our Victorian political reporter Simon Love has been at the Premier's news conference. Simon, talk us through the announcement and the justification for this.
Well, Laura, major decision by the Andrews government. Ultimately, it went through Cabinet yesterday and legislation will go to the Parliament today. So this is the original site for the North Richmond, medically supervised injecting room here in Melbourne. It's in the suburb of North Richmond, not too far from the Melbourne CBD. There's been a 5-year trial for that supervised injecting room site, and modelling has shown that the site has helped successfully manage 6,000 overdoses and as well prevent 63 deaths inside that facility. Although the report from John Ryan, a leading public servant, has found that in the city of Yarra, which is the council area where North Richmond is, around that same time, there were 50 deaths between July 2018 and December 2021. But the government highlights that this is lower than 68 in a similar period before the injecting room came in place. So they say this is justification as to why this facility should be permanent. Here's the Mental Health Minister, Gab Williams.
We administered some 6,000 overdoses without any loss of life is quite remarkable, and we should never lose sight of that fact. In saying that, we also know through the recommendations that there's more work to do.
But while the injecting room's goal was ultimately to save lives, one of the other goals of the MSIR was also to improve the amenity for residents in North Richmond, and that's a goal that it seems the Premier doesn't believe is the highest priority. Take a listen to this exchange in the news conference earlier.
This is not about amenity, mate. This is about saving lives.
For a lot of residents, it actually has improved.
Amenity can be further improved, but this has not just been about the amenity of this area. It's been about saving lives. And there's no amenity when you've got people dying in laneways where that can be prevented.
As for the residents, there has been quite mixed views on this facility. Some residents have gone as far to say that things have gotten worse in the local area, although one resident did appear at the Premier's news conference today saying that things are better.
There was always the constant presence of sirens, emergency sirens. It was like living in a war zone. It was stressful and it was unacceptable.
From here, what is important to look out for is what the government will do on a second medically supervised injecting room site. The Premier, for the very first time today, has confirmed that the government's bought a building in the CBD for that site. There's been long-held speculation that that building is next door to Melbourne's iconic coffee destination, De Grave Street, and concerns from the local traders there. So this concession from the Premier today will certainly not do much to allay the concerns of those traders, given that a original site in North Richmond is being made permanent.
Yeah, well, Daniel Andrews says they buy real estate all the time. We'll see where that one ends up, Simon.